Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Charles, I am playing Aluren. This is the 80 card Yorion Aluren 4-color deck that David Tardif used to take second place at the Legacy Pit Open last month. This is a deck that I saw in real life next to me. I also made a deep run in that tournament, and David was playing within a couple tables of me for the last couple rounds. And this deck looked terrifying, and I didn't want to get paired into it. And I didn't, but David made a run, ended up second place, and Charles wants to see this deck in action. Charles already had Aluren in my recording queue, and then when David did so well with this build, we switched over to this one. What we got going on here, if you're not familiar, Aluren is a 4-mana enchantment from Tempest, green and 2. Any player may cast creature spells with mana value 3 or less without paying their mana cost and as though they had flash. So, once you have Aluren in play, what you do is play Recruiter of the Guard. You get to search your library for a creature with toughness 2 or less. You get Arctic Merfolk. Arctic Merfolk has Kicker, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. Then there's some flavor text on it that doesn't matter, but the important thing is that your Recruiter of the Guard is back in your hand. Then you play Recruiter again, and you get Cavern Harpy. Cavern Harpy, when it enters the battlefield, you return a blue or black creature you control to its owner's hand. You can choose Arctic Merfolk, and then you can play this, bounce your Recruiter of the Guard to go find Ukima Stalking Shadow. This could be any number of win conditions, but Ukima is a cool one, specifically for Magic Online, because Ukima's partner trigger is when this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Khazar into their hand from their library, then shuffle. So your opponent doesn't get to just F6 and make a sandwich while you're comboing up. They do have to be actively engaged, which is pretty funny. But anyway, Recruiter of the Guard gets Ukima Stalking Shadow, that when it leaves the battlefield, deals X damage to target player, and you gain X life, where X is this creature's power. Cavern Harpy, remember that one? It's still in play. Pay 1 life, return Cavern Harpy to its owner's hand. That's the last line of text on this. So you pay 1 life to bounce your Cavern Harpy, then you play it again, pick up a blue or black permanent, Ukima Stalking Shadow, which drains your opponent for 2 life. Then you can replay it, bounce your Cavern Harpy for 1 life, and you're up 1 life on the exchange. And you can pay 1 life to drain your opponent for 2 life as many times as it takes. That is one of the lines to victory. Another one is when you have Aluren in play, Acererak the Arclich can enter the dungeon an unlimited number of times, as many times as you like. And one of the dungeons, one of the rooms, is each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So you can just infinitely go through that dungeon until your opponent loses 1 life enough times that they're dead. Hopefully we don't have to do that on camera because it takes forever to click through on Magic Online, because it's just like one of the 5 rooms in the dungeon, and you have to click through the whole dungeon to get to that 1 room out of 5. So it's like 5 times as many clicks as Ukima is. But Acererak having this as an out is good. And the reason it's hiding over here in the sideboard is that this is a Living Wish deck. Welcome to being a Yorion deck. You got to fill up this deck with something. Living Wish has all sorts of bullets in the sideboard that it can wish for in tough matchups. We already talked about Acererak, so there is a 1-card kill with Aluren. If you have Aluren Living Wish, you can wish for Acererak and win. Plague Engineer for those creature matchups. Collector Oof for those artifacts. Endurance for graveyards. Meddling Mage for combo. Uro one you gotta grind. There's already 3 in the main deck. The 4th one's over here. And Leovold Emissary of Trust when you want to lock someone out of something. Living Wish can also get lands. So there's a Karakas here as well if you're against those Sneak and Show, Reanimator, whatever. Whatever ails you, Living Wish has the answer. The actual cards in the sideboard are 4 Carpet of Flowers, 2 Force of Negation. So when you're playing against decks that want to constrict your mana, Carpet of Flowers real good. When you're playing against decks that can kill you, Force Negation real good. And that's the plan. Snuck into this 80 card frame for Teferi Time Raveler. This is a card that I've lost interest in control decks right now. I just don't think it lines up well against Prismatic Ending. But in a combo deck, it's a totally different animal. If Teferi stays in play, the upside is just you win. You can curve Teferi into Aluren, and if you have Teferi in play, you know you're going to win because they can't do anything. Teferi, huge value in a deck like this. 5 mana dorks to speed it up, 4 birds, 1 noble hierarch, 4 abundant growth. This fixes your colors, draws cards, and it flickers with Yorion later if you're on the fair plan. Icefang Quaddle, same thing, keeps you alive, draws cards, provides pressure, and is a great flicker with Yorion. Uro drawn cards, Prismatic Ending, and Swords to Plowshares for the full 8 spot removal spells and 4 Force of Will. This is a pretty solid Bant control deck tucked into this really solid combo deck, and you have this Living Wish board and this Yorion Go Long plan. This deck is really cool, and I like what it's doing. Let's get into these games. This is 80 card, 4 color Aluren. I'm on the play in the first round. I have revealed my Yorion, so hopefully my opponent thinks I'm on Death and Taxes. Unfortunately, I have to mulligan this 0-lander. I will keep this 3-lander. I think I'm going to send Swords to Plowshares to the bottom. That's the most polarizing card here, meaning that there are matchups where it's great and matchups where it's terrible. The rest of these cards are all just reasonable. That's an Aluren. I am going to keep this Aluren on top of the deck. Draw the Ponder in case they're a discard deck. Anyway, Plow on the bottom because, like, if we're playing against Delver, it's great. If we're playing against Combo or Control, it's terrible. And there's not much space in between. I'm going to Coatl this turn. That's just the highest velocity play. It gets something on the board. It's material against Combo or Control. It's a blocker against aggro. Looks like we're playing against some sort of Snow Bant. Ooh, that's a good card. I'm going to Coatl in response, see if I can find a Force of Will or Prismatic Ending for this. Here's my Coatl. Not find Force of Will, that's okay. I can still Ponder into Prismatic Ending, or I could just jam Uro. I think I want to Ponder. I'm also working my way up to this Aluren, which is a pretty big deal. I don't think I want any of these cards. Actually, Brainstorm's great. Brainstorm's always great. Don't shuffle this library. Then I'm going to get another basic forest, and I'm going to put Abundant Growth on it. That plays around Wasteland, plays around back to basics. Okay, there's Force of Will. So I can punch through the start of a combo next turn. Like, Uro redraws, and if I find Cavern Harpy or a way to cast Cavern Harpy, I can bounce Uro. That's an interaction I didn't even talk about. Like, Uro is a 3-mana creature. With Aluren in play, you can cast Uro for free as an instant. If you have Cavern Harpy, you can flash it in, pick up the Uro before it sacks itself, and you gain 2 life because you pay 3 and then gain 2. Or you gain 3, then pay 1 with the Harpy, and you can draw your whole deck with Uro and gain that much life, and eventually you'll find a kill. I think I should Brainstorm in the end step, or I could just slow it down. I'm going to slow it down. Brainstorm now. But this is good stuff. Don't think I care about Swords to Plowshares. I do like the Coatl. I don't want this other island. If I attack and they have Endurance, then it's just a trade, and that's fine. It's fine. If I can pressure their life total without committing the Aluren, that's even better. Because they did draw some cards with Sylvan Library here. Their life total is lower. Got their own Coatl, it's fine. And Plow my Coatl. Alright, yeah, that's not what matters in this matchup. I feel like they're betting that they just have so many cards that they can beat whatever I'm doing. But Swords of Plowshares is pretty good at breaking up the Aluren combo. Uro, yeah, I'm not worried about that. Like, not to the point where I would Force of Will it anyway. There's Karakas. That doesn't break up what I'm doing with my Uro. I'm not going to block their Coatl because it doesn't matter. And if I find Harpy, it's better if I have two things I can bounce with it instead of one. Does it matter what color I get? Yeah, I don't really have white mana. I just need blue to cast my Coatl with. And Harpy and any creature that draws a card when it comes into play is pay 1 life, draw a card, which is a nice way to shred through the deck. Now I'm in a little bit of a danger zone because my Uro doesn't actually do anything. Like, I don't have a way to keep the combo going, so I think I just want to end their Sylvan Library and then cast Uro. Let's get rid of that. I'm not going to fight over this if they choose to fight over it. I think using Uro to get velocity is better than not doing that. Don't think I want basic plains. Don't think I want a third forest, so that leaves dual land as my option. There's Uro. It might have been interesting to put Yorion in hand this turn and threaten a flicker draw 2 next turn. Allowing my Uro, that's fine. It's a 2-for-1 all day. Count it. And I'm going to attack with my Coatl because I am not here to block theirs. Their life total is much lower than mine, and I have a combo that might want that Coatl. Jace the Mind Sculptor, that's a really good card. I'm going to fight over that. If they have force for this, then they would also have force for Aluren, and this might get the force out of the way of that. And Jace is a card that makes trying to beat them on the fair plan basically a joke. Now they're just brainstorming their way out of this. 3 cards left in their hand. Pretty aggressive fetch. I don't know what that's about. Brainstorm. Yeah, that's a good one. Found Ukima, who doesn't really do anything on its own. What can I do here? I can put back Ukima, Windswept Heath, cast Abundant Growth, draw the Windswept Heath, put Yorion in hand, get ready to draw 3 cards next turn. I think I like that. Abundant Growth here. It's targeting basics all over the place. And put Yorion in my hand. That's my play. Still leaving my Coatl around because drawing Cavern Harpy still gives me a lot of juice. Got their own Brainstorm, but they have Jason play that also does that. They've stormed a lot of brains in the past turn cycle. Probably the Uro from their graveyard. There it is. They have not shuffled since that Brainstorm, so they're redrawing one of the cards they just brainstormed. There's the fetch land. And brainstorming again. Terrifying stuff. Fetching right away. Wonder if they're going to Prismatic Ending my Coatl. Oh, not with that mana. Alright, yeah, Swords to Plowshares works. Back for 1. Yeah, Swords to Plowshares, Coatl. Makes me think they don't have an answer to Yorion. Why would they do that? I'm going to fetch Savannah. They don't want that Ukima on top of my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, here it is. Yorion, please resolve. Please resolve. Oh, it resolved. I'm a little surprised, but I'll take it. That's fine. I'm going to draw its cards on the way through. Flicker my Abundant Growths. Play the land. And then pass the turn. They have Jace and Uro active, so I basically have to combo them out at this point. Because I'm not beating them fairly. Force of Will. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have enough mana to cast Aluren and hardcast Force of Will next turn. If I find Recruiter, I can go off. I am under some serious Bant guns here. Brainstorm with Jace, crack their fetch land. Fairy, that's a problem. That breaks up a lot of my combos, also turns off my Force of Will. Okay, here we go. Prismatic Ending. I could remove Jace, I could remove Uro, I could remove Teferi. I think I'm most worried about Jace. So, white, blue, green, black, exile Jace. 4 colors. Being able to do that for 4 is such a massive upside. If you could build your deck to do that for 3 or build it for 4, that's so nice. We're still losing this game, but that was nice. That also resolved, which makes me think that they could probably not fight over the Aluren. Like, fighting over Jace, what else are you looking for? Nice Field of the Dead, by the way. Cool tech. Where'd you get that? and Life from the Loam. They're doing the whole thing. Abundant Growth, okay. I will hope to draw a Recruiter here. Uro. Okay. Uro's not nothing. Do I Aluren first? No, because they have Teferi. It doesn't matter. Here comes my Uro. I could even escape it if they can't answer it on the front half. They have the Karakas, but gaining life and drawing cards is not bad here. I think I want to Ponder first. Where's the Plowshares? Am I interested in that? I don't think so. I'm going to shuffle my library. I'm interested in winning the game. Like, that's my only goal right now. If I Uro, they bounce it with Karakas, but that is life points in the bank. And I can Teferi to check them next turn. Blue, green, green, blue, Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is my Uro. Draw some more cards. Yeah, bouncing it is fine. It was never going to win the game. Counterspell's bad. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They can attack me for 11 this turn. My Teferi resolves. I can bounce their Uro next turn, which takes some pressure off, but I'm at 7 and dead to any land drop. Yeah, okay. It's even a fetch land. So Teferi bouncing Uro doesn't really matter. Endurance, targeting who? Targeting me. Okay. Don't care about that. I care about the counterspells in their hand. That's all I care about right now. Okay, deck, it's time to deliver. That's a forest. So, white, blue, colorless. Does Teferi resolve, please? Give it to me, I need it. Card casting, a counterspell, yep. Would be nice if I could respond, but as we know, I cannot. Green, green, colorless, colorless. Here's Aluren. They have a counter for this as well. They've been through most of their deck. I'd be surprised if they don't, but also happy. All right, they had Force Will. We're done. Yeah, Teferi shut it down. They had their Teferi before I was set up. I had a lot of looks there and just never found something to get the chain going. They are certainly a better Bant deck than me. What do I want to be doing with my sideboard here? Carpet of Flowers is going to be a good one. I'm not in love with Swords to Plowshares in this matchup. I can combo over an Uro. I mostly just lost to Jace and Teferi, so more Force and Negations I don't hate. What else is not so good here? Like Icefang Coatl being a potential combo piece changes a lot of the math about whether that card's any good. I think the Mana Dinguses can get shaved. My opponent has a lot of removal, and don't really want to get caught with Mana Dorks against the Sweeper. This is the deck I'm submitting. I am going to keep this one lander on the play. It has Abundant Growth, and it's going places. It just needs a second land, which might be a big ask, but I hope it's not in 2 draw steps. Help me out here, deck. Abundant Growth. There's the land. That'll cast Coatl, and the cantrip train is rolling. There's another land. Okay. Life is good. They are also just land go. No Sylvan Library. Yeah, last game we did fight through Sylvan Library, Jace, and Uro. No wonder we lost that one. Jeez. Through Forest there. I'm just going to pass with Hardcast Force of Negation available. I really don't want to get Teferi'd out of this game, and I don't want to 2-for-1 myself if I don't have to, while fighting over said Teferi. Brainstorm in the end step, that is not where my Force of Negation is getting pointed. And if they don't cast something I need to counter, I can just Brainstorm in the end step. They fetched a basic. Do they have back to basics, and are they playing it? It's weird that they even have 2 snow-covered islands in their Field of the Dead deck. But I guess we've also seen Coatl, so their deck's built kind of differently than how I've been building my Bant field decks. Time to Brainstorm. 2 extra lands, don't need those. Gonna fetch for a dual land and continue hoping I don't get blown out by back to basics. Back for 1 here. I could wish for Leovold, but that's something I think I want to do next turn. Like when I can do it all at once, like wish for Leo and cast him. Leovold is the kind of creature that can solo a control matchup. It just completely changes the dynamic of the game. Brainstorm. Wish I had a Hull Breacher to wish for. Ponder. They brainstormed, then pondered. They pondered without fetching the brainstorm cards, so they looked at those same cards again, chose not to shuffle them. They must be good. No attack, okay. Brainstorm in the end step here. There's Aluren. So I can set up a multi-turn line here to win the game. Oh no, I have Recruiter right now. Do I need a fourth land, or fifth land? Do I need a Prismatic Ending? Do I need any of this shit? Don't think so. I should draw the fifth land, just in case. Alright. I think I want to test them with the Leovold, see what they want to do about that. Because I have the win with Force Backup rolled up in my hand right now, but they've been doing a lot of sculpting. Let's see what that looks like in their mind. Fetching, probably basic island. Then just make sure I leave up mana that can cast Leovold. Yes, use the ability, put Leovold in my hand. Blue, black, green. Here's Leovold. How'd we do? Is it in? They're fetching in response. Leovold's in there, so I'm at least getting a card if they plow it. Draw a card for that. Yes, please. And do I want to fight over this? Or do I want to let Aluren win the game next turn? I think I want to let Aluren win the game next turn. Leovold did his job. The 2-for-1. Oh, they had Caracas. Spent their swords to plowshares. Love it. Caracas isn't a real answer to Uro, so that's not too devastating. Green, green, colorless, colorless. Here's Aluren. Please resolve. Hard cast force, pitch cast force. Are we in there? Can I have it, please? Another force, okay. Alright. There's that. It's all good. These were reasonable exchanges. Now let's see what's left over. If they just like jam Jace here now that the dust is settled, that's really bad. If they have nothing, then we're just still in this game. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I draw a land off Uro, I can jam it right away, but they have Caracas, so that doesn't matter. I can wish for Endurance and just get on board. That doesn't sound good, though. I think I want to cast Recruiter. Does that make any sense? Probably should have came up with a land before I started tapping mana. I'm actually just going to Uro. If I hit the land, I can jam it right away. If not, I'm still getting ahead on cards here. Hit the land. So green, green, blue. I need a blue or green source here. Another basic because I'm a coward. Blue, blue, green, green. I know they can bounce it with Caracas, don't worry. But pulling ahead on cards is good in Bant mirrors. And I'll take it. Where's the plowshares? Yep. Didn't even want to use the Caracas. Go right to Plowtown. Play from the loam, picking up 3 fetch lands. It's fine. So they have 2 cards in their hand and 2 lands. 2 actual cards. And Aluren off the top wins. Recruiter. All right, now that I have 2 of these, I'm going to use one of them. It's got to be something cool I can find. Sort of value creature. Like Ice Fang Coatl, perhaps? And then put Yorion in my hand. And I don't think I can tap wrong with an abundant growth in play. Yorion is threatening, drawing 2 cards plus recruiting another creature. Kind of worried about the clock. Like, I have lots of time, but it's not going to last forever. Oh, they just found Wasteland off of dredging their loam. If they want to start squeezing me off mana, that's not going to be a very good plan for very long. Yorion's going to do enough damage before that matters. Wasting my Tundra is fine. There are a lot of basics in this deck, and I have 4 of them in play already, with a 5th on the way. I can get basic planes if I care, but I don't. Green. I have Abundant Growth, which is already doing everything basic planes needs to do. Whoa, baby. Carpet of Flowers. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I'm playing that one. Then I'm going to go to my second main. No attacks. Second main. Carpet's going to make blue. Yes, make infinity blue mana. white Teferi, get in. Had to force that one. Use it or lose it, as they say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. That is not enough to do 2 things. So 5, 6, 7. Here's Yorion. Please don't have a second counter. Nice. Okay, so flickering all of my things. I can leave the carpet because it doesn't matter. And then I can Living Wish for some other value creature. Probably Uro makes a lot of sense. Because I already have the Recruiter. I don't need Acererak. I'm going to draw 2 cards before I search, so I have more information on what to search for. Okay, I have Aluren now, which means I want Cavern Harpy. Or does that even matter? Do I just want Coatl? Because if I guess I want a second Recruiter. So my chain doesn't... Oh, that would have been the 3rd Recruiter. Yeah, I'm not sure if it really matters what I get there. I probably wanted a blue creature to support Force of Will. They found their Field of the Dead. They milled over a Jace. Okay. Played their field, but because they have 3 of the same basic land in play, it's not even active. Icefang Coatl is not worth supporting in Bant shells these days. Like pure Bant, control Bant. I don't like Coatl for that reason. I think Field of the Dead just does way more. Okay, the entire squad is rolled up here. Use Carpet's ability. Make green. Here's Aluren. I'm just jamming. Okay, now I win. Guess with Aluren. Search for Arctic Merfolk. I guess I don't even need that. Yeah, here's the Harpy. And then I'm gonna cast Harpy with Aluren in response to its trigger. I don't think this matters. There's some tricky thing here. Yeah, if you cast Harpy first and put its trigger on the stack, you can play around an extra removal spell. Flashing in Meddling Mage. Do I care about that? I don't think so. Alright, they can name Cavern Harpy, so yeah, I'm going to bounce Harpy, and I can draw my deck in response. So here's Uro, and gain 3 life, draw a card, don't put a land in, Harpy in response. Harpy can bounce Uro. Yeah, I'm just going to draw my deck in response to this Meddling Mage. Second Aluren in case they get ideas about trying to break me up. I'm just going to click through this for a while and bring you all back when the game is won. Just drew a Force of Will for their Meddling Mage, so I'm going to cast that. I have as much life as I want and my whole deck in my hand here with multiple protection spells, so I'm just going to go for the quick kill now. My opponent does not seem interested in conceding to my onboard victory, so I'm going to target them with Ukima's ability. Okay, now they're ready to concede. Alright, I got 6 minutes to win game number 3, which will be tough if they don't concede, but it is not on them to concede, it is on me to win. I'm not going to begrudge my opponent if they make me click it out. This is a deck that is much worse on Magic Online for specifically that reason than it is IRL. I'm going to keep my hand. Let's go. Perfectly good Bant hand here. Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. I'm not going to play my Carpet because it's too easy to pick it off with Prismatic Ending, and I don't want to give them that free lunch. Fetch to Forest, and this smells like a Sylvan Library. Sure is. I'm going to offer to fight over that. I have 2 Teferis here. I think I want my Carpet in play now. I can go to second main and cast my Ponder and maybe get another spell out of this. Yes, make blue, cast Ponder. And Carpet Force. You don't want these cards. I'm going to shuffle them. Cavern of Harpy, okay. We're getting closer to victory. We're an Aluren away from winning. Aluren off the top is GG, because I can draw my deck with Uro. There's a Ponder. It's also possible that they just decided Sylvan Library was good for the 2-for-1, and they don't want to fight over it. Or they decided they had 2 of them, and they didn't need to do that. Also a reasonable take. Carpet is going to make green for my second Carpet. I'm going to make infinite mana. It's not infinite, it's like 2. But that's still pretty good. Second main, Moment of Truth. I'm going to make white mana. White, cast my Teferi. Do I get to bounce Sylvan Library here or not? That will determine a lot of this game. Ouch. I did not get to do it. Okay. Hard mode activated. Extra hard because I'm under 5 minutes on the clock. Took max damage. Jesus. Just slamming Jace. Brainstorming. Okay. Well, it is officially go time. If it wasn't already, it is now. They did play a second island that turn, so my carpets are good for 4 here. Oh god, they're good for nothing. That was fucked up. That was a really good Force of Vigor, I dare say. I'm gonna get basic forest to cast Aluren with. Here's Uro. How'd we do? I guess I put the Tundra in to pressure their Wasteland, even though I'm not really pressuring anything. I think I'm just losing this game straight up, even without the clock. Curving Library into Jace is some business, and they're giving it to me. The Force of Vigor was fucked. What did they pitch to it? They pitched Endurance. They are at 1, literal 1, from all of the things that they've done. Sylvan Libraries, the fetching. That's not very much life. Maybe I can cheese a Coatl in here. Chose to shuffle after all that. Ukima is lethal, just heads up. Not anymore. Okay. The jig is up. And Abundant Growth. Forest. Ponder, that's pretty good. I can't play Cavern Heart because it just bounces itself. Birds of Paradise is Irrel. I'm gonna shuffle this. There's a Aluren. If there's a chance, it involves that card. I can't really force anything because then I lose my Harpy, which is the key to my kingdom right now. Maybe they'll misclick and take 4 off this library. I'm playing to my outs here. I'm gonna escape Uro. I'm not gonna fight over, for the reasons I described. There is Uro. Plains is scary because that can plow my creature. Force of Negation. Not super into that. I think this game is lost. Though I can't give up hope entirely. The Uro is going to end the game pretty quickly, but I'm not literally dead. If I draw exactly 4th land and Recruiter over the next 2 draw steps, things could happen for me. Uro's getting in. They shuffled their Ponder for what that's worth. Haven't even activated Jace yet this turn. There it is. 10 cards in hand. Endurance, I don't think I care about. That's a turn off the clock, but I wasn't using my graveyard anyway. Bayou, I don't want to run this into Wasteland, but I think I have to. Hope they don't have the Loam, I guess. I could force a negation a Loam, though. But I played the 4th land, because if I draw the 5th one, I want to be able to Yorion next turn and try to redraw. I think I'm already mega dead at that point. Gotta try. The out of them misclicking on Sylvan Library is still alive. There's Jace activation. Still have their land drop, so if Jace finds Loam, they can do stuff. Mess up my land. No land came off Uro, which is horrific, which means they have 8 cards in their hand, or 8 spells in their hand. Like they're trying to cast a fairy here. Force of Negation that on hard mode. Okay, that's lucky. Let's draw a Recruiter right now. Right now. Shit. Blue. 1, 2, 3. Here's Yorion, which I am still dead. Plow puts me to 9. Okay, yep. Very dead. Yeah, just got out controlled. That Force of Vigor lined up really well against my Carpet of Flowers, and fearlessly slamming Jace got the game won in games 1 and 3. The game where they had to play fair, I won because I was able to sort of challenge them on the fair axis and then beat them on the combo axis. But when they have Library and Jace, these repeatable sources of advantage, Uro bearing down, like I'm just not beating that, whether I have a combo or not. GG's. I'm on the draw in round number 2. I'm going to mulligan this to Fairy 6-lander. Yeah, this hand's way better. I'm going to send one of the islands. Abundant Growth on Basic Forest to kick this off is going to be pretty nice. You can make fun of Abundant Growth if you want. Oh, shit. I missed my chance to fuck them up with Force of Will. Because most decks that play Yorion are going to be Death and Taxes. So if they just like commit to an Echo of Eons here and I get to force it, the game is over. And there's a little bit of bonus action involved. Like, look, there's the echo. They still don't see what I'm up to. All right, maybe I can get them on the second round. I have a Force of Will this time. Second round is much worse than the first round for a variety of reasons. But they don't get to see the cards that I shuffle away. That doesn't matter. Well, here we are. This would be a great game to wish for Collector Oof. We're going to get Forest, Abundant Growth. Yeah, they dodged real hard. I just didn't have Force of Will in the opener. Would have left him hellbent. But they did draw 7 and didn't do anything last turn, which is pretty interesting to me. Is their hand just bad? What's going on over there? Sai Master Thopo. I don't think that card is particularly beatable. Though, I have a turn 3 win. Let's not try to fight through Sai. That could represent enough damage to actually kill me before this Aluren pops. That would have been 2 Thopters. They get to bobble me, and they see Ponder at random. Okay, we're echoing again. Sure. No Force of Will this time. Opal. Alright, looks like they are going to keep going, and I don't have the stopgap this time. There's Sai. Shit. Okay. Bobble. Bobble. Battle. They're down to 1 card in hand, but they are going to draw 4 cards from the 4 bobbles they have. Saw Forest at random, and they saw Brainstorm at random. Okay. Now they draw 4 cards, and I don't have enough mana in play to end their Sai. I think I just want to Brainstorm. Yikes. That's a lot of garbage. Put back 2 things, and I could Prismatic Ending their Mox Opal, or I could wait a turn and hit Sai with it. I think I want to interact now. End your Opal. It's kind of awkward to target a legendary permanent, because if they had a second one. But let's just get rid of it. Bobble. Bobbled me. See, they saw Misty Rainforest at random. In for damage. 13, Urza Saga. Okay. Draw for Bobble. I find Force of Will. Not bad. I can recruit for Uro and try to buy myself some time here. Get some land drops, draw some extra cards. Oh, you had Force of Will. You dirty dingus. If I pitch Arctic Merfolk, do I lose? I don't think there's any doubt that I'm Aluren. If I show them Arctic Merfolk, it's just like 0%. They're a Force of Will deck themselves. Terrifying. I am gonna fight over this and find Uro. I'm heavily tempted to concede. I don't think I can actually win this game, but I'm gonna get Uro. Oh, I can't get Uro. What am I even saying? That's not how this card works. I'm gonna get a card I'm not allowed to get. I'll get Ice Quaddle. It's just like Uro. Same shit. Yeah, this isn't Living Wish. It's Recruiter of the Guard. Thought Monitor, Lion's Eye Diamond. Another Thought Monitor. Ooh. This deck is so sick. I guess I'll give them the opportunity to show me more stuff. Just because I like looking at it happen. Even if it is terrible. So I can draw Aluren. That's not Aluren. And I'm very dead. I could have drawn Aluren. Icefang Coatl finds Harpy off the top, and then Harpy bounces Coatl up to 6 times and finds Ukima. That was the line. Didn't happen, clearly. Force Negation's coming in. Prismatic Ending could have some juicy targets. I feel like Plow Sai is the only good target. So Urza might be in this deck. I don't really know what's going on over there. I think I want Meddling Mage in the deck. Because there's so many bullets. Like, Plague Engineer cleans up Thopters if they've already gone off. Leovold stops them from going off. Collector Oof stops them from doing anything. But if I'm behind on board, it doesn't matter. So I like having all of these as bullets for the 4 Living Wishes. But Meddling Mage isn't a card I'm going to wish for. Like, if I'm in a position to wish for Meddling Mage, I'm just going to get Collector Oof. Which means that, who's going to get cut? What's left? We cut Noble Hierarch. All right, that's what I'm doing. Revealed my Yorion. I have Force of Will. I'm going to keep this. I have Force and 2 Wishes. If I can hit my next 2 land drops and still be alive in time to cast Leovold or Oof, life's going to be pretty good. They're mulling to 5 over there. I'm going to get Tropical Island. I'm not messing around with basics. I just need to get the lands that cast my spells here. Tropical Island, Ponder. Okay, I found another Force and a land. However, I guess I have to stack it like this. Don't really have to, but I did. I could, like, I want to cast Ponder next turn, but I also need to hit my land drop last turn. But I chose to have Force and Negation instead of do either of those things. Or I can do one of the things, but not both. Let's see if Double Force is what the doctor ordered. Okay, just nothing go. We can put that on the docket. I'm going to wish for Oof right now. I'm going to put them on notice that the game is going to end if they don't do something, but I have Double Force to stop them from doing anything. Still haven't popped their baubles. Not even one of them. Oh, another one. Thought Monitor. They have 1 card left. Do I want to fight through Thought Monitor? What is going to happen if they draw these cards? I'm going to let this happen. Might be reckless, but like I just don't know how hard I can bet on Collector Oof to solo the game. They're cashing in their baubles. They're seeing Ponder 3 times here, then they're drawing 3 cards. Now the question is, do I Ponder looking for my land drop, or do I just play my Oof? I think I play my Oof. Just put it in. I'm normally a Ponder in that situation, but I don't like it this particular time. I think I'm going to pitch Uro. I feel like Teferi will have more mileage than Uro in this matchup. Oh no, they found 2 forces? That sucks. Okay. Well, I still have Force and Negation, and they have 2 cards left in their hand. They had to pitch 2 size to play those 2 forces. And they're currently beating me down with a 2/2. Okay. I can bounce this thing. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana to recast it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I think I'm going to Ponder, see what happens, and then Living Wish with the results. Do I want this land? Right, don't shuffle my library. I will take a land here. And I'm going to fetch the Bayou and wish for Leovold. Yes, get Leo. And pass. I gotta survive this turn. Then Leo's bigger than their thing, plus bricks their main purpose for existing. They have to bobble me now, or else Leo will draw me a card. And also, they won't draw a card. Black, green, that's what Leovold costs. Your turn. And then, once Leovold's in, Teferi can bounce Thought Monitor, and they don't get to draw cards when they replay it. Now I don't have to counter most things. Like, Urza would be a nightmare right now. But most things I don't care about. I don't care about that at all. Look at a card in target player's hand. Oh, target themselves. That makes sense. Alright. Yep, they target themselves, so I don't draw a card, and they get to draw because it's a new turn. That's their 1 draw for the turn. I'm gonna play my Teferi. Teferi requires blue mana. There it is. Get rid of your Thought Monitor. Birds of Paradise, that's pretty dope. I think I can safely attack here. And I don't think this deck has back to basics in it, so I'm going to get another Tropical Island and play my bird. Still holding up Force of Negation. Still got some action here. Lotus Petal. There's a Saga. Okay. Saga is a real card. And this doesn't hurt them, it just arrives as a 2/2. Plus Teferi. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go full Uro here. Green, blue, colorless. Trigger, put a land in. Fetch. You get a basic island. Blue, blue, green. I think having bird back to block, if I so choose to block, is better than having my fetch land up. My fetch land's not doing anything. I'm extremely interested in drawing a blue card to go with this force. That would be nice. Got there easily. Free money. I'm gonna attack with Leo. I think that's safe to do this turn. I won't get to do it again. Unless they have some flash creature I don't know about. This thing doesn't have Death Touch, does it? Nope. Okay. I have Teferi, so I don't even need to worry about a flash creature. Not that I was, but I don't need to. Even if I pretended to be worried, I don't actually have to do that. Kind of an interesting spot here. Like, my bird's not doing much. My bird is the mana to get and cast Yorion next turn. But I think having Teferi in play is better than having bird in play. I have draw step plus Uro attack to make that happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can attack with Uro, but not with Leo right now. Hope I find a land here. That would be great. Oh, that might be better. Is that better? Does that matter? I'm not ready for that. But it does set up a nice W for next turn. 1, 2, 3. Put Yorion in hand, and then blue, white. I think I want to name Sai. What am I worried about here? Urza? I haven't seen Urza, but it seems like a likely card to exist in their deck. I don't want that card to come into play. 7/7, which will be a 9/9 pretty soon. See if they know about Pithing Needle on Cavern Harpy. Shadow Spear. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, so they can for sure kill Teferi, or they could just ignore Teferi and get in. Yep. Don't really care about Teferi. They can make it small enough that it doesn't matter. Didn't move over their Shadow Spear, so I get to attack with some impunity here. I guess I should save my mana. I'm going to attack with Uro first and see where that goes. Uro's in. Show me a Recruiter. Ukima. Ukima good. Not the worst thing. Not great, though. Okay, Uro's in the graveyard now. Then I can draw another card with Abundant Growth. How about a Recruiter? Yikes. I can 1, 2, 3, 4 escape Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can escape Uro and wait another turn. I think that is the play. Green, blue, green, blue. 1, 2, 4, 5. Here's Uro. Another Aluren's not really what I needed. And I guess that's my turn. We're in some danger here, folks. I mean, a 10/10 lifelink trample is no joke. That's coming at me. Okay, they are attacking Teferi, so I'm going to block the one that doesn't trample with the creature that matters the least. Go to 3. Uro can get another redraw. I'm drawing 2 cards next turn. Just gotta hope one of them wins the game with Aluren. That's some help. I'll take whatever help I can get. Uro. Ponder, okay. Not a land, didn't need to be. Ponder is a good one. I'm going to summon my Aluren now. I want to Aluren first so I can coatl before I ponder. Okay, Uro's a good one. Now I want to ponder before I Uro. Really looking for Harpy or Recruiter. All right, got there. Okay. That should do it. Cast with Aluren. Yes. I'll just grab Harpy. I don't need to do the whole Merfolk thing. I already have everything I could want. I'm going to keep the original one. I guess it doesn't matter. Nope. Drew that Arctic Merfolk that I don't need. Here's Ukima. Let's see if they realize they have to do something here. They are definitely F6'd and just walked away. Let's see how much of their clock I can run down with Ukima. They figured it out. Oh, Harpy picks up Ukima. Ukima drains my opponent. And here's the combo. I'll bring you all back when they've conceded. Okay, they finally, after 3 iterations, they got tired of clicking through Ukima's ability. That went pretty well. Like, my Living Wish bullets did what they needed to do. They wore my opponent down, and then when the dust settled, I had Aluren. That was pretty good. It was kind of tight at the end there. Like, I did have to find something on that final turn. Was dead on board. I think this is what I got, though. Same deck going back in. It's too late now, but maybe Caracas should be in my deck for Sai. Like, I'm not going to take the time to wish for it, but just drawing it could be pretty dope. Can I keep a hand like this? I'm going to. It's going to show strength. There's no force. But if they wheel, then maybe I'll find one there. But if they have like a cheesy little Sai start, I have the plow for it. See what they got for me. Saga. They have some fast mana. Yeah. You don't play Saga on turn 1 unless you're going to accelerate into it. How that card works. I have plow. So I can answer one of the constructs. They get Shadow Spear and commit anything to it. But this is pretty aggressive. Like, if they're going to sack Lotus Petal to get one construct, and then they won't have mana for the second one. They're bobbling me. I'm going to fetch in the end step. I just don't want them to have any information I don't need them to have. I don't know if my card was good or bad. I just didn't want them to have the information on principle. I'm going to play a land that can cast Coatl while still holding up this plow. Sacking Lotus Petal to make a 2/2. They might be looking for Lion's Eye Diamond here. Set up the Echo in their hand. They are running out of options, which is both good and bad for me. It's good if they actually don't have an option. It's bad if they are forced into desperately going for the Echo when I don't have an answer for it. Bomb, okay. That's a 5/5. I am not going to do it. I'm not going to plow this thing. I'm going to spend the turn coatling and developing my resources. I can take 5. That's not a big deal. But what I'm not interested in is just not using my mana efficiently. So here I can Uro into plow, or I can Teferi and hope it works. I think I want to Uro. Because there didn't come out particularly hard, which means I wonder if they have force. I'll leave back my blocker, even though it doesn't block something equipped with Shadow Spear anyway. I'll chump block since they didn't equip. I'm going to save this plow as long as I can. Okay. Seems like they just have nothing, which is weird because they're not a deck that has nothing. That's just like not a thing that really happens. I'm going to go for Teferi because that'll really put them to the test. Like, do you have something or not? If this resolves, I think we're Gucci. Okay. Didn't think so. Force pitching Echo. Okay, so they had Echo and just decided not to go with it. I'm not going to Living Wish here because I still want to plow this thing before I take a huge crunch from it. Like, if they spend the turn developing Shadow Spear, I'm still pretty worried about this Echo. I think I can take 6. I just really don't want them to feel desperate and move into a position where they go for Echo. I want them playing around Force of Will. Now it's time to plow. And then I wish for oof and slam the door. That's my plan anyway. Oh wow, Force of Will was a great draw. As it tends to be in these combo matchups. Living Wish. Yes. And I think oof is better than Leovold here. Oof. A floating blue, and then they have no permanence. No dismember. That's pretty good. Sometimes. All right, 3 cards left in their hand. No permanence that can activate. Waddle's pretty sick. I'm going to do it now in case I draw a sorcery that I want to cast. I'm going to put Yorion in my hand. I am not going to respect anything with this Force of Will. I want to get ahead and win the game right now. Oh, and Yorion's a blue card if I really need to force something. So, got all the bases covered. Powerful sideboard cards showing up clutch. For 3. I think the correct play is to do nothing, but I am going to cast Yorion anyway. Like, I think holding up Force of Will is perfectly reasonable. Okay, they have their own pitching Thought Monitor, sure. How about a creature? I have Uro in my graveyard. That's a good creature. I should probably cast it. Here comes 3. And I'm going to fetch. Feed that to the Uro. Blue, blue. Green. Green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. Trigger. I can hardcast Force of Negation and pitchcast Force of Will. I think this one's over. Opponent agrees. We're on the board. Here comes the next round. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw, again, in round 3, I'm going to keep this hand. It's got cantrips in it and lands to cast them. Mostly what I want in the world. Volcanic Island Ponder. Normally, I would just give that the possibility of being Delver, but the Delver decks have so many 1-drops these days that I'm suspecting combo. Maybe that's not a reasonable thing to suspect, but it's where I am. Putting Coatl in my hand, and I'm stacking the land on top of my deck, because if they dash Ragavan, I don't want them to get anything good. Another Ponder. If this is Show and Tell, I want some answers pretty quick. They did not shuffle and did not make a play. Those feel like Show and Tell lines to me. I'm going to pass with the double Brainstorm available. Maybe I should have played the fetch land. Aggressive Iteration. Okay. Maybe they're not Show and Tell. Okay. This could just be some like Honorog control deck. Or it could be Expressive Iteration Show and Tell. I don't know. Who says that's not a thing? Could be. The great thing about Ice Bank Coatl is you don't care if it resolves or gets countered. Either way, it's good for you. I'm going to dig in on this Uro. If they are a control deck, I want them to feel a squeeze. If they're a combo deck, I want to start pulling ahead on meaningful metrics. Tundra and cast my Ponder. Really interested in a Force here. None of those are Force. I'm going to shuffle that. And in case they're a Ragavan deck, I'm not going to attack. I'd rather block. We are very dead to a Show and Tell here. End-step Brainstorm is sus. Normally, combo decks are the decks that want to do that. But this full Jeskai mana base is not normal in Show and Tell. That doesn't mean that's not what they're doing, but it is not normal. Flooded Strand, crack it right away. Fairy. Okay, that's bad for me, but it's in play. They bounced my Coatl right away. I hate when my opponent's spells just resolve. Not fair. Okay. A bunch of lands. I don't need a second Uro. I don't think Swords to Plowshares is what I'm looking for here. I could escape the first Uro if I fetch Basic Island. Basic Forest also does it, but I'd rather have an island. In green, blue. This is my best plan to win the game if they are a fair deck. Okay. What does that mean? Show and Tell could have this card in it, or this could just be some Jeskai control deck. It'd be like a Stoneblade deck. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Officially don't know. They exiled a Ponder to their iteration and cast the Ponder. Did not shuffle. They're going to have to discard Bounty of Riches, put it in the graveyard. Moral victory. Oh, a Teferi of my own. That's interesting. Let's see what you got. Show me that main deck Pyroblast. If any deck has it, it's this one. Though I would rather see Force of Will and get a 2-for-1. Force pitching Brainstorm, you got it. I can cast my own Brainstorm. I could also just... I can Brainstorm and then Coatl. I think that's pretty good. Brainstorm. The Force doesn't matter. I'm basically never going to remove this Teferi, so I'm just going to get rid of the counterspell. And if Ukima becomes relevant, I'll be able to find it with the Recruiter. I'm just going to cast... I guess I could Living Wish for Leovold. That would be pretty interesting. Or I could just develop the Ice Vein Coatl. Yeah, I don't think I want them to know Leovold's coming. Like, I can wish for it and cast it all next turn. Or that's even better. Let's see if I'm dead. The sick joke is, if they are Show and Tell, I could put in Aluren and win at instant speed, except that they have Teferi. Damn it. Confirmed. Yeah, they are Jeskai Omniscience. Okay. Yeah, I could have put in Aluren and won the game if they didn't have Teferi in play, but obviously they do. So, here comes Emrakul. Sideboarding for this. What do I do? Force of Negation comes in. Caracas comes in. Meddling Mage. I think I want this to come in. I can tutor it with Recruiter or just naturally draw it sometimes. Swords of Plowshares is not good for this matchup. Carpet of Flowers is pretty good. Do I have 4 more cuts? Prismatic Ending can hit Teferi, which would have changed that entire game. The Mana Dorks I'm really not super in love with. Very willing to cut these cards, especially for Carpet of Flowers, which is a better Mana Dork than most of the Mana Dorks. This is what I'm doing. I have Disruption, Cantrips, and my win condition I'm going to keep. And I know what I'm playing against, and I know what I'm doing, so I'm just digging in with these cantrips, get to work right away. Force of Will, Ice Fang Coatl, Prismatic Ending. It sucks that none of these are a land. I am going to keep this, though. I have Coatl next turn, and then Brainstorm the following turn. Like, there's a lot of looks for lands here. And having multiple forces feels pretty good. All right, backup Rag. That's probably out of the sideboard. Or they're just a show and tell deck all the time. I don't know. Like a show and tell Jeskai deck all the time. I don't know. I'll block it with Ice Fang Coatl. I could also just not block it, let them have my Prismatic Ending. Yeah, that's fine. Don't really. I guess I kind of wanted that. That does answer Ragavan, doesn't it? I'm over here like, fuck it, YOLO. But my goal is to hit land drops and jam a combo through. Ponder. That can resolve. Coatl in the end step. Blue. They daze. Didn't daze. About that land. Not the land. My Brainstorm saved me. Okay. Unpunished. I am not going to need Living Wish this game. And Harpy's good. Coatl's good. I need blue cards to pitch. I think my plan is to play this land and not crack. Brainstorm, okay. My top card is the land if they do remove Coatl and decide attacking as a priority. I'm losing the card anyway. Does that mean I want to jump in with Coatl or not? They can have the land. And then I'll Coatl in the end step. That's a fresh look at 2 lands, or 2 fresh looks at a land, depending on how you want to think about it. I have green, so I'll get blue here. Blue, Coatl, Abundant Growth, okay. And 4th land. They have 5 cards over there. I think I need to slow down. I hate it, but I think it is the right play. Abundant Growth. Like, I don't want to play into daze. Like, at least let me remove one of the many horrible things they could do to me. And here's Birds of Paradise. So now I'm playing around daze. We can see what else ends up happening here. I can use Brainstorm to mitigate a Ragavan hit if necessary. God, Teferi. Yeah, that one's bad. Force of Negation, Pitching, Force of Will. What I have available to me. For Brainstorming in response, okay. I'm also going to get my Brainstorm in here. Red Blast. Brainstorm. Alright, we are juiced up. Gotta hope they don't have another force. Put back these 2. And okay. Barrier resolves. Oh shit, I just put Recruiter on top. There's a Ragavan in play. I'm gonna have to block with Bird. That sucks. Didn't consider that one fully. I guess I didn't have to do that, but I don't really want them to have that card off my deck. Green. Colorless. Can I win, please? Please let this resolve. Ugh. Brainstorm. Don't find it. Let me have it. Give it to me. No! Hate my life. Okay. We pitched Memory Deluge. My goodness. Okay. We're gonna have to win a fair game now because Ragavan's about to take Ukima, who is my win with Aluren. And Acerak's still in the deck too, or can be wished for anyway. Do they want to cast this thing? Hope they do. Passing. Okay. Green, blue. Ice Fang Coatl. And green, blue. Ice Fang Coatl. And Carpet of Flowers. Playing this into days. It's fine. Let's go. Want to give me 5 mana? I will take it. Okay, so I want to make... Do I want to make blue and try to brainstorm out of this, or white and just get my tutor on? I think I want to brainstorm. Still have my land drop. Cool. Cavern Harpy's out. Prismatic Ending could be relevant someday, but for now, I hope I have another white source in the deck that I can fetch with this. And I don't. Nope. Lost track of those. All right, I'll just put Yorion in my hand. Awkward. The good news is that if there is any, is if I untap, I have infinite mana. They have 3 cards in hand. That's kind of a small number to win with show and tell, but you don't need that many. Like if they have show and tell, omniscience. I don't know. I'm not going to plan for a world where they have literally everything. I'm going to make white mana. I'm going to start with Teferi. Let's check what you got. Cunning Wish in response. Cool. Is there a counterspell on their sideboard? Intuition. They can intuition for 3 forces. That's ugly though. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to win. Or are they just committing to the 3 show and tells and hoping I can't do anything about it? They are getting 3 shows. That's fine. Okay. They have 3 show and tells in their hand. I'm going to Recruiter of the Guard, get Meddling Mage, name show and tell, Meddling Mage in the deck, and I'm going to pick up my Carpet of Flowers with Teferi. I'm going to play my Carpet of Flowers, and I'm going to go to combat, attack their Teferi so I can't bounce my Meddling Mage. Second main, make 5 white mana, 5 blue mana, it doesn't matter. I use Carpet's ability, I have 1 white card I want to cast, yeah, so I'll make blue. Make blue, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, that is enough to do all the things I want to do, which is put Abundant Growth on this. Even found a land, that's fun. White, Meddling Mage on show and tell. Meddling Mage show and tell, and then I get to cast Yorion, who will flicker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 permanents. Then end of turn, those all come back. They still have Teferi. Like, if they just dumpster me, then they get to just dumpster me. I'm gonna draw my cards before I search. Force, search for Svanquaddle, probably. Okay, I've done what I can here. If they kill me through Meddling Mage right now, I am dead. They don't do that, I can kill their Teferi next turn, and I'm behind a wall of forces and my own Teferi. At least one of the cards in their hand has to be something to show, like in Omniscience or whatever. They packed it up. All right, game 3. Let's go. I don't think the sideboard plan changes. The cards that I have are the cards that I have. Doesn't get any better out of the board, so right back in with this 80 cards. On the draw, I'm going to keep this hand. It has disruption, cantrips, and stuff to do. Like it. Nice. Abundant Growth is gas. I'm going to get Tropical Island to cast it. The basics don't really matter in this matchup. And in case they daze the Abundant Growth, I want to make sure I can still cast Ponder next turn. Another land. Okay, my lands are gassed up. I'm going to leave up Coatl for this turn. And use my cantrips to pull ahead next turn. Or sneak a Teferi in. Force of Negation. I'd like more protection than Force of Negation before I jam Teferi. They are a Daze deck. They've shown me that. And a Pyroblast deck. They have a lot of clean answers where I don't. Waddle's in there. Oh yeah. The Carpet time? Carpet on the stack. How'd we do? In there. Attack with my Coatl. Collect my 1 mana. I'm gonna make blue. I'm gonna cast Brainstorm because I don't really want this Cavern Harpy. Caracas is pretty nice. Cavern Harpy goes away. Don't need this many lands. And I'm gonna fetch I'll get a basic at this point. I really don't think this deck... No, I'm not going to get a basic. I don't believe for a second that this deck can juke into back to basics. All right, Force of Will. Good pickup. I like Uro also. In Force of Will doesn't matter this turn because they only have one blue card to pitch. But it will be good in future situations. That's an aggressive plow. Wow, they are fetching basics over there. If they slam back to basics, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, they're definitely not slamming back to basics if they have that card. The Fairy. Do I want to protect this with... I guess I should pitch Force of Will, because if this doesn't work, I lose my Force of Will anyway. But having my own Teferi could be useful. Okay. They're spending their Red Blast on this. I hope they activate Teferi, like minus mode. Cool. Alright. That gives me the possibility to sneak a Meddling Mage in here. Okay, do you want to counter Carpet, or do I get this thing? I get this thing. I have exactly 5 mana to work with. Is the requisite amount. Cast Meddling Mage. Yes, make blue. I don't think it matters what I make. Recruiter. This does get dazed, but I can't play around that right now, and I can't just let them untap with no protection. White. Show and Tell's getting named. Okay, Show and Tell is named. Here we are. Their deck certainly has the tools to do stuff here. I just hope that they don't for a little while. The board is gummed up against a Ragavan. A Ponder is what they found off the Expressive Iteration, and they cast it. Goes to shuffle. Okay. They have a Caracas of their own that makes this Uro a lot worse in my hand. But I think it's okay. I'm going to play my Teferi first main and make a pair of blue mana and cast Teferi here. If they have a removal spell, I want to know what it is. Okay. Not a removal spell. Back Teferi and attack my opponent. I don't think I need to put 2 different pressures on Teferi. And I'm just going to hold up Force at this point. They pitch Show and Tell 2 Force of Negation. Ugh. Do I need to be respecting this? I don't think I'm going to force a negation Expressive Iteration out of a deck that can kill me with a single card. Though this is definitely the point of the deck. Like, they're starting to put together the things they're supposed to put together. I'm going to fetch to counter this, leaving up Caracas in case they have Ragavan. And I'm going to get my Bayou. I do think Meddling Mage is worth protecting. Unfortunately, it's only a legend in our hearts. You're a legend to me, Chris, even if the game doesn't believe it. I'm going to make green mana and start doing stuff. Abundant Growth. Oh, Living Wish. That's fun. I could get Leovold, and that one is a legend according to the game. Do I want Leo? Is that the play? I think that it is. Blue, green, black. Leovold is in play, or on the stack at least. Now it's in play. They haven't shown me Snapcaster Mage or anything that I'm going to worry about attacking into. Leovold gets bounced. I get to draw a card on the way through. A reasonable exchange, I dare say. Okay, they're passing the turn again. I love when Show and Tell doesn't do anything. It's like basically my favorite thing. I am not going to carpet pre-combat. Ah, shit. I was supposed to play my other carpet. Whee! I'm just throwing cards around at this point. Yeah, I was supposed to play that second carpet and get 4 mana second main instead of just 2. Alright, we'll make it work. I'm going to make blue, black, green, Leovold. Oh, do they have a hardcast Force this time? Not bad. Okay. And then 1, 2, push for Yorion, and I'll play the other carpet now. Better late than never. Yorion is a draw 2 tutor for something in this spot. Uh-oh. Ooh, Memory Deluge. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast the spell, so it's a dig through time for 2 cards. That's a serious non-boat with Omniscience, though. Ponder. They have 3 islands now. My carpets are good for 6. That's a lot. A whole lot of mana. Not shuffle. Oh, they have the plow. Okay. Better figure out how to win now. That's a good start. I am... What is the play here? I think the play is to just attack first. Get my point in at least. And then second main, use both of these for blue. Make blue. Or do I want some of them to make green? Now I'm just going to make blue with both. And cast Yorion. Or I think I want to Uro. Yeah, because I was worried about my blue cards in hand, but if I flicker the recruiter, then I'll have a blue card anyway. Green, I can just tutor up like any blue thing. Green, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uro. Okay, there's a blue thing. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yorion. Yorion gets to blink 1, 2, 3. I think I want to blink Uro too. Just draw another card. Yeah. I mean, they have Caracas. They can kill it anyway if they want it out of play. I'll take the extra card. And I'm going to stack Uro last in case I draw a land on one of these other things. Tutor up Kima. I think I want to tutor up a Coatl. Pretty sure it doesn't matter, but yeah, Coatl. And trigger. Okay. Here it is. I have 1 Force of Will to rule them all. It's pretty clear they have a Show and Tell in their hand. Show and Tell. So Force of Will pitching to Fairy. And then if the Show and Tell resolves, I can put in Aluren and I get 3 redraws. Ooh. Or do they just have 2? No, okay. All right. Important to note that flickering Uro did take lethal off the board without really gaining me anything, so do what you want with that information. Uro is good. I'm not going to use these things yet because they're going to have to bounce my Yorion in combat, which lets me replay it post-combat. Yep, that's bounced. They go to 4. And then my carpets, I'm going to make green with one of them for the Aluren and blue with one of them for the Yorion. Don't think they have any creatures in their deck, so I'm just going to try to go here. And at the very least, I'll just draw Infinity. Like all of these is another redraw with Yorion, even if they don't work out. Aluren. Okay. That's in the graveyard. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's Uro. Abundant Growth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's Yorion. Please don't counter it. I'm out of blue cards. I think they would have countered so many other things, though, if they had them. Okay, flickering all of those things. I'm leaving Uro in play this time. Guess I could have flashed in that bird at my convenience. But here it is, face up. Okay, just draw 5 now. 4 minutes is plenty of time to click through all this. So I'll get Cavern Harpy and, or no, I get Arctic Merfolk and just win the game, right? Yeah, I can just win right now. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're just going off instead. Yes, get Harpy. Oh wait, is Ukima gone? Did that happen this game? No, that was last game. Okay. Harpy, pick up Arctic Merfolk, cast with Kicker, pick up Recruiter again, recruit for Kima, and now we win. Oh, Yorion's dope. I didn't even see that until it fell into my lap. Like the end step, win the game combo. That was cool. Pick up Ukima. Luckily, my opponent's at 4, so I only have to do this twice. Not worried about the time at all. And we're done. Zap ya. GG's. On to round number 4. That was pretty sick. I am on the draw, because obviously I'm on the draw. This hand is super reactive. Like if they're exactly Delver, it's okay, but I don't like it anyway. This one I like. I'm gonna keep this and bottom. I could keep Force of Will to try to stay alive, or I could bottom Aluren because I'm not ready for that. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. I'm gonna bottom Aluren and try to play fair, and I'll find the Aluren when it's time to win, but it's just clogging up my hand in the meantime. A Plains. But that has planes in it. That's bullshit. Who does that? Okima is an easy pitch to Force of Will if I'm settling into a fair game, but a long-term extremely painful one. Esper Sentinel. Yeah, okay. Is this hammer time? God, I hope it is. I'm going to jump a Coatl in front of this Esper Sentinel. Oh, yikes. Ancient Tomb, suddenly. Lion's Eye Diamond, suddenly. Lotus Petal, suddenly. Oh, God. Am I getting hammered? Other Sworn Canonist. I don't care for that, but I can cast Force of Will still. All right, well, if you have something that kills me here, then good job. I am going to get basics because I have the Abundant Growth, and the Death Touch might matter eventually if they end up having giant hammer creatures. This is my non-artifact spell for the turn. If they go second main, Echo of Eons is what it is. Let's hope they don't do that. Okay, didn't happen. I can Abundant Growth this, which is my spell for the turn. But I can Swords to Plowshares their Canonist and then cast more spells on their turn if necessary. Or I can kill an Auriok Salvagers if necessary. There's a Saga, terrifying. Retrofitter Foundry, also terrifying. I think just comboing this person out is going to be my #1 plan. Okay, that is counterable. So, but does it matter? Okay, no, I'm just going to plow it. Yeah, plow that. Get it out. Urza Saga Bomberman is dope. I've heard whispers, but haven't actually seen this in play. Big fan. Okay, they're just using their floating mana to make a servo right now. Reasonable. Okay, I have to... What do I have to do right now? I think I just have to play Prismatic Vista and pass. I can try to ambush the Canonist in combat. My thing does have Death Touch now, and that unlocks all my other spells. It is if they attack, if they feel like they need to attack. At this point, I'm just digging for Aluren. Blue, green, Coatl, draw, block. Don't worry, I'm gonna fetch before damage. I can feel you all panicking. I'm gonna get the Snow Plains in case I need to plow. Like if they drew Salvagers, I want to make sure that's handled. Now it's time to brainstorm. How about Aluren and a combo? Oh no. None of that's what I wanted. Well, I can play Ukima and just have it in play. Or I can pass the turn. I think I should pass. I'm in some trouble though. I really needed that brainstorm to deliver. Oh, I should have put Yorion on hand. I'm a dingus. I am not used to playing with that card. Yeah, I should put Yorion in hand. I can still plow, and that's all the mana I need. I get a redraw next turn. Yeah, that was just horrific. Horrendous. I am going to fetch now because they might get Pithing Needle. And get Tundra with that. What are they tutoring for? Shadow Spear. That card is brutal. To plow now so they don't get the extra 1 life. They could sack LED and equip Shadow Spear, but I don't think that's particularly great. Wow, I wish Yorion was in my hand. Look at this 3 mana, just went unspent for an entire turn cycle. Recruiter, okay. Let's figure out what you do. Oh, you get Ice Fang Coatl probably, which at least stabilizes this board as it currently exists. Is there a better thing to get? I don't think so. It's Coatl. And do I want to put Yorion in hand, take a turn of getting thwapped, and draw some extra cards? I don't think so. I think stabilizing against these constructs is my main goal right now. They get another 4/4 out of their Foundry here. Another Saga. Wow, that card. This card is so good. I love it so much, but also hate it. Oh god, what is this shit? Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 0/0 colorless construct. Oh wow. This commander card? Where did this come from? Yeah, Commander 2021. Alright, yeah, this is like kind of a brand new card. Alright, well. Gonna have to combo. Can't beat that going long. Whip their Shadow Spear. This one's a 4/4 all the time. The other one gets bigger and smaller as artifact numbers change. Green, blue. I'm gonna block the 5/5. Or the... Oh, okay. Do I block now? I think I still block. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully I draw Arctic Merfolk. Come on, deck. Recruiter. Arctic Merfolk. No, none of the above. I can put Yorion in my hand with the intention of winning next turn. 5, 6, 7, 8. But I don't win next turn is the problem. I'm dead this turn. So 1, 2, 3. Yorion in hand. And I can cast Aluren. Guess I have to. Hope they don't have anything they can put in off this, because I am not ready. Yeah, Ukima can jump in and at least keep me alive for the turn. Though with Ukima in the graveyard, comboing gets harder. Also, I'll be at 1 life, which makes Cavern Harpy kind of bad. Oh. Oh. They didn't attack with their other creature. I'm at 1. Okay, I'm at 1. Now what? Please don't... Oh, do you have Pyrite Spellbomb? What the fuck is happening? Oh, do you have Ethersworn Canonist? That's what's happening? Yep, shit. That's a good one. And I can't force it because I'm at 1. Do I want to flash in Ukima now? Yeah, I think so. Get in there, girl. Or boy. Or whale wolf. Gender, non-discriminate werewolf. Whale wolf. Whale wolf. Where? I'm just making noise with my face. Target myself. Search my deck for this partner that I don't have. Yep, died to onboard tricks. Living Wish. Ooh. That help. Because I do have Aluren. I can flash in something. Do any of these things I can wish for stabilize against their board? The answer, regrettably, is no. I think I have to Yorion. There's Yorion. I'm going to flicker my 3 things that I can flicker. I do get to drain my opponent for 2. Because that left play. So that is 2 life to work with. Which I might use for this fetch land. I'm trying to think, what can I even do? The answer is not a whole lot. Canonist is like the perfect shutdown for me. Is there something I can tutor for that's good here? Let's find out. Like if I had like a Reclamation Sage or something, we might be playing a game here. I do get a spell each turn. I'm at 2. Cavern Harpy can pick up Kima. Yorion can block that thing. Arctic Merfolk. I think I have to just take Coatl and hope I'm not dead. So I'm looking pretty dead. This is a cool construct token though. This commander player's got style. So they get to make another construct. I mean, I'm not beating this trample. I'm not beating any of this. But they can continue taking game actions if they want. Yeah, it's kind of wild there's no like removal spell in the 75. Like, that's a creature. They named Cavern Harpy with this. Yeah, that's pretty good. Turn all your shit sideways. That should do it. Get to draw a card. And block Canonist. Or I can block Canonist with a variety of things. Yorion has to go in front of the 5/5. Ukima can block here. Nope. Ukima can trade with Canonist. Coatl can block that 6, and then I can absorb 3 damage off of this thing. Or I think I'm more worried about the engineer than the construct token. So they have so many construct tokens, it basically doesn't matter. I have to block everything with everything. And block the Trampler especially. The fuck is this? Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into your hand. Never more. This gets a +1 counter. Okay, I don't think I care about that. It doesn't like change the imminent combat math. Got Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. Drain you for 2 on the way out. Canonist is out of play. Oh, I am super dead. And Cavern Harpy is turned off, which is a problem of its own. What can I make happen here? Swords to Plowshares. Okay, let's look at this sideboard again. Uro's in there. Oh, I have fucking Asarak. GG. That's what that's in there for. I understand now. Sarak the Arclich. Cast with Aluren. Please concede. Don't make me do this. Oh my god, thank you. They just conceded. Whew. Wow. Alright, yeah, I totally forgot about that line. That game was honestly kind of wrapped up. There's a lot going on. There are 80 cards in this deck, and even more because of Living Wish. I'm playing with like a 93 card deck here. Give me some slack. Okay, what am I doing? Is Force of Negation something I'm interested in? They had a lot of powerful creatures. The Bomberman combo does get broken up by Force of Negation pretty handily. Endurance can also break up Bomber combo. I think I want Endurance in the deck. I don't really want to have to wish for that. Carpet doesn't do anything. I do want to wish for Oof. Though it is kind of... Oh, there's 4 wishes and 3 guards, and wish costs less mana. So yeah, Oof is better in the sideboard than it is in the deck. I'm willing to buy into that. And Prismatic Ending is the way that I have to remove Pithing Needle on Cavern Harpy, or I could just sidestep it with Asarak. Okay. Pretty cool. I like where this is going. Right, Noble Hierarch, sorry. That gets cut a lot. And Birds of Paradise. I'll bring in an extra Force of Negation because they do have a combo angle to their deck. Okay, I'm in. This hand looks really good. I'm gonna keep it. This is a ton of removal against their deck that has a ton of good creatures in it. I'm not well set up against... Or, no, I have Swords of Plowshares. I am totally fine. I'm set up against everything, basically. I think I'm gonna roll the dice on this Birds of Paradise. Oh, this is risky, though. Like, I could just fetch Plains and play the game, or I could fetch Forest and play Birds of Paradise and hope that this carries. I'm gonna do that. Here's a Saga. You got it. Going straight to Canonist Town. Yep. Also a human, notably. Famous human. Other sworn canonist. Known human or human collaborator. I drew the Plains, get fucked. Easy game. How do I want to cast these spells now? I cannot... Okay, what I have to do is plow the Canonist, pay the extra, and then I can end the other thing. So plow Canonist, pay the Troll Toll, get rid of you, and then I can Prismatic Ending this one. So I've already paid the toll, and you only have to do it once. I don't think they can assemble Bomber this turn. I guess they could, just Ancient Tomb, LED, GG. Alright, maybe I should have played around that. There's the Ancient Tomb. Alright, didn't have it. They have nothing. Give it to me. Uro, powerful spell. I'll cast Uro. I could cast Aluren, but I'm not going anywhere with it. If this draws Cavern Harpy, I quit. Okay, don't have to quit. Get to keep playing. They are gonna make a construct, a mighty little 1/1. They've demonstrated they have Pithing Needle in the deck, so I'm gonna fetch before they get to do their search. So if they needle Windswept Heath, then they're not needling Cavern Harpy. I'm not gonna fetch. Go ahead, needle my fetch land. Get me real good. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. Somebody likes bombing. I'm in no position to plow this thing because I will die to their creature next turn. If I do, Recruiter of the Guard. Is that the game? Did I win the game? Green. I should leave up white, I guess. In case it matters. Oh yeah, if they flash in Canonist, and it will matter. Aluren, cast Recruiter. Do they have a Canonist to flash in? Genius Smith, okay. Doesn't really do anything. Disenchant my Aluren. That does a lot, okay. That was pretty good. Smith gets to dig up another Lionside Diamond. Okay. I'm tutoring for... Can't cast Ice Fang Coatl because of the way that I tapped my lands. I think that's okay, though. I think it's still the get. Yeah, I'll get Coatl. I'll have another turn this game. 4 cards in their hand. One of them's Lion's Eye Diamond. 3 cards in their hand. 2 cards in their hand. I don't know any of them. They get a counter on their Smith. This triggers once per turn. Canonist, okay. Alright. I'm gonna plow Canonist in combat to shrink the constructs as much as I can. 5, 10, 11, 12. This puts me to 5. That's not very much. What am I hoping to draw if I don't? Alright, I'm gonna take the damage, because having material on the board in my Yorion deck is relevant. Burrow's in the graveyard with 5 lands, or 5 things to cast them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's Uro. Some stuff with that. Gain life. No, don't use that ability. I'm gonna fetch for a forest here and play my Abundant Growth. I'm gonna play it on the plains. They do know that I am empty now. Like, they know about Ice Fang Coatl and this one mystery card. If they have been sandbagging a Salvagers, but I guess that doesn't matter because their card in hand would have to kill me. They don't have a card that wins with infinite mana right now. Blue, green, Ice Fang Coatl. Draw a card. Go to blocks. I'm going to trade with one of the constructs and chump the other with Recruiter. They can make a construct at instant speed, which is why I didn't block with Uro. I want to turn my Uro sideways. Birds of Paradise. Okay, Living Wish. Show me something good here. I have the Acerak. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I attack with Uro and then figure out what's going on after that. Here comes Uro. They can make a 5/5 construct. I didn't find a land with that. 4, 5, 6, 7. I have exactly enough mana to ponder into Aluren and wish for Acerak. Okay, that's not Acerak, but it's very good. Ice Fang Coatl. Do not shuffle. I can Prismatic Ending the construct, and then I can flash in Coatl, drawing Swords to Plowshares, and cast Swords to Plowshares. They're making a construct. Oh, that's cool. It triggers the Smith. Yeah, there's a whole engine going on here. I like it. Making the other construct. They're committed to the beats. Ingenious Smith is pretty cool. I haven't really studied this card in action in Legacy yet, but it is honestly pretty dope in decks that want it. Shadow Spear is the get. I have to let them equip it and go to combat because they could just move it onto a different creature if I respond. Like, the 1 extra life's not going to make or break this game. Coatl. Drawing Swords to Plowshares. Block Ingenious Smith. Plow the 7/7. Please don't have Salvagers. Cool. All right, Uro's getting another ride. And I have these 2 Living Wishes. Let's review the sideboard again. Collector Oof, it might be time for that. But first, attack with Uro. See where that goes. Force of Negation, not bad. Green, green, Living Wish. Yes. Get Collector Oof. Oof. That into play with Force of Negation back up. So I can't get comboed out, and I'm ahead on the damage race at this point because Uro's gone sideways a few times. They can tap their Ancient Tombs, but can't do anything else. They can tap Ancient Tomb and attack with their 6/6 and can't do anything else. I will not block their 6/6. I'm at 5. Uro's winning this race by a lot. Nice. Okay. I'm going to attack with my 8 damage, put them to 1. Don't have a land to put in. And Oh, I can just wish for... Oh, how far into the dungeon do I have to go for a Serac? I don't actually know what the dungeons are. Oh god. Pause. Time to look up the dungeons. Okay, here are the dungeons. I can enter the Tomb of Annihilation and win the game right now. Okay. I'm in. Green, green, Living Wish. Get Azarak. As Richard Garfield intended. Black, blue, colorless. Here's this. Choose a dungeon. I'm going to enter the Tomb of Annihilation. Each player loses 1 life. Hell yeah, Richard Garfield. That was sick. Azarak won both of those games in dramatically different fashion. Somehow both exactly the same and completely different. On to the final round we go. The final round is upon us. The positive record is locked. We're playing for 4-1. I don't believe this hand is keepable. Gonna ship it. This one is very keepable. I'm gonna send Arctic Merfolk to the bottom. I think that one is the farthest away from being useful. My opponent asked how I got a space in my username, the Bosh space N space roll. And I'm pretty sure the answer to that question is I've just had my account for 15 years and you're not allowed to do that anymore. It was a thing for a while. Okay, cantrip drew another cantrip. Still didn't find the second land, but I got Ponder coming. Windswept Teeth. All right. Are you elves? Are you Bant? Are you... Okay. Elves or Maverick? We still don't know the answer to that. I'm gonna need to combo this deck out, though. Please land. Preferably green. Oh, shit. Shuffle into a green land, please. Damn it. Oh, come on, deck. All right. Glimpse of Nature, we're dead. Miss land drop. Now they're just doing their shit. Cradle, 2 elves, GG. Yeah. Whatever. You got me. I get it. They have at least 1 refire here. They can float green with the elf, bounce an elf, replay that elf. Visionary. Okay. So they're done for the turn. I'll take that. There is no more mana to be created this turn. Can I have a land, please? Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. There's not really a chance. I'm just excited to draw land. I can exile Symbiote and play Abundant Growth. I can exile Symbiote and play Birds of Paradise. I can somehow hope that we're not dead. And I mean, we're definitely dead. But I think Abundant Growth is going to be important to the... No, I think ending the Symbiote and playing Birds of Paradise. I think Birds of Paradise is the play to win play. Just going to try to get something onto the board and build my resources up because I have to combo them out. And I'm not going to win from 2 lands and no combo pieces. There's that Visionary again. That's the one they bounced. And what else you got? Another Visionary. Okay. Show me that second Cradle. There's Heritage Druid. Shep. Okay. Shep. It's a lot of Sheps. Oh god. Cradle. It's just hoof from hand. Is it time? Archon of Valor's Reach. Okay. I am very dead next turn. Can't cast sorceries. Living Wish is a sorcery. Living Wish was my out this game, but I still don't have even the mana to do that. And they get a cheeky little power attack with Virtual Ragers through my Bird of Paradise. Okay, is there any reason to continue this game? I guess I can Abundant Growth for the redraw. Swords to Plowshares is non-zero. I mean, that's not true. It's all 0. I will fetch and play Ice Fang Coatl. Blue, green. Maybe I'll find Swords to Plowshares and just die less embarrassingly. These are all 5/5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Maybe they'll forget to attack. No, I'm gonna concede. Normally I like to play the maybe they'll forget to attack game, but this league has gone on for a very long time. And a lot of times going to be edited out, but this has been a very long league, and I am ready to move on to game 2 here. What is the plan? If I wish for something, Like, Plague Engineer is a bullet, Leovold's also a bullet. Do I want one or the other in my deck? Like, recruiting for Plague Engineer is a line. You can't recruit Leovold, though. Meddling Mage, I think, is a card I do want in the deck. Force of Negation is such a crapshoot. Like, clipping an early Green Sun Zenith or Glimpse is worth a lot, but they also just have Shepherd in their deck. I want my fast mana. I want my combo. Burrow's awkward because it is a combo piece, but also a clunker in the matchup. Teferi's not really important. It's rare that that is the truth, but I believe that is the case here. I could go down 3 Teferi and play all my counter spells. Yeah, I think this is as good as I'm going to do here. This matchup's rough. It's like Plague Engineer, combo, or bust. I'm not beating them playing fair. This is certainly explosive, but doesn't do anything. I'm going to mulligan. Oh, the first appearance of Noble Hierarch. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to keep the Aluren. I think Meddling Mage needs to take a break. Or no. Force of Negation. I'm going to bottom. I know I boarded it in specifically for like turn 1 situations, but the mulligan is going to get the better of me here. Let's get this Aluren into play ASAP. Got to be careful because their deck is full of less than 3 mana creatures. Like, if I don't win the turn I Aluren, then I'm not going to win. Heritage D, there you are. Okay, the fetch land is big. That means if I find removal, I can play it. I could also just jam Meddling Mage and name Glimpse of Nature. But I think I'd rather ponder. Let's try to find more action. None of this is action. This is actually terrible. I'm going to shuffle this. Tundra, okay. Not exciting. I hope they don't turn to me. Leading on basic forest instead of a dual land means that it's really hard to bridge Noble Hierarch into double spell, including Meddling Mage. Okay, they passed their turn though. Let's find a recruiter. Ponder. Yeah, I think I cast Ponder. Like, the Aluren doesn't get me anywhere, or doesn't get me where I need to go. So Ponder it is. Ace Fang Coatl. Not what I'm interested in. Shuffle. I'm really looking for combo pieces or removal spells. Gotta be careful. I'm gonna respect Choke a little bit here. Can I get my basic planes? I can. Yeah, I'll get basic planes here and cast. Do I want a Meddling Mage or Uro? I think I want a Meddling Mage. Okay. Meddling Mage. And I'm gonna name Glimpse. Though if they had Glimpse, they might have gone for it last turn. Am I more worried about Natural Order? I'm gonna name Glimpse. And just having a 2/2 in play is pretty relevant here. This is where they just dumpster me with Natural Order. Another Dryad Arbor. Okay. This draw is not great. Cavern Harpy, let's go. Ice Fang Coatl. Well, I can cast Aluren and go draw a card, hope it's good. I think it might be an appropriate time to do that. Though I am likely dead if this fails. Here's Aluren. Here's Ice Fang Coatl. And first draw, Force of Will. Here we go. Uro, help me out here. Big trigger. Okay. Don't put a land in. With Uro still in play, I'm going to Coatl again. Let's go, let's go. All right, Ponder. That's a big draw. That plays. Tropical Island. Ponder. Find me the recruiter. Endurance. Okay, I don't care about that. That is not part of the plan. Ponder, help me out. Arctic Merfolk. That is not what I need. That picks up a Coatl, and then I get to redraw Force of Will. Yeah, that's not good enough. I shuffle. Come on, deck. Yes! Off we go. Now I want that Merfolk. Merfolk's in hand. Cast with Aluren, with Kicker. pick up the Recruiter, and now we're off. Yes, with Aluren, find the Harpy. They do still have 4 cards in their hand, but I'm going to ignore them. That's all I can do. Got Merfolk. Merfolk with Kicker. Pick up Recruiter. I guess I don't necessarily beat Veil of Summer here, because Ukima does target, though Veil of Summer is not a card that's super common in Elves. Oh, I can also pick up Harpy, cast Harpy. Yeah, I can like draw my deck in response to stuff. And there's probably a spot where they could break up my combo. I think they would have done it by now, though. All right, cool. Scooped it up. Yeah, they kept kind of a clunker. Maybe the Meddling Mage on Glimpse was the thing that really bricked them. Or maybe their hand didn't come together the way they hoped. Or maybe they didn't realize I was a combo deck after the poor showing of a control deck I put up in game 1. I'm not sure exactly what just happened, but I'll take it. You don't think my deck improves play or draw? Still like Plague Engineer in the board where I can wish for it. And maybe I want Leovold in the deck. Like the first wish is just always going to get Plague Engineer. 100% of the time. If that's the case, maybe I do just want access to Leovold. Leovold's got to be better than Teferi. I'm just really not impressed by Teferi in this matchup. It's a 3-drop on the draw. I bounce one of their 1/1s, they just replay it. Okay, this is what I'm doing. No removal in this hand or counter spells, which makes me a little worried. I do have the Aluren though, which sprinting to the finish line seems like a reasonable plan here. See how quick they come out of the gates. Oh, Zenith, terrifying. If I draw Swords to Plowshares right now, I'm going to feel good about this game. And if I don't, I'll feel bad about this game. So close. Yeah, Prismatic Ending is not Swords to Plowshares because it doesn't answer this creature because it is also a land. And the card specifically says non-land right on it. Do I want Noble Hierarch and a second ending? I think I do. I'm not going to shuffle. Like next turn I can fetch Basic Forest, cast Hierarch, and a creature. That is if I get another turn. So, okay, that's not Gaia's Cradle. Is it Choke? Or is it Grist? What do we got? X equals 2. There's some horrific hate bear. No, it's just Visionary. Well, they've played around Prismatic Ending perfectly. But they did not play around Brainstorm. So I'm going to Brainstorm and then play my Hierarch probably. Well, I have the win next turn. See if I get a next turn. I'm going to get rid of these endings because I am going to win or lose right now. Fetch Basic Forest. Cast Birds of Paradise. And butt cheeks are clenched. Here we go. I have my turn 3 Goldfish. What do you have? God. Black mana. I don't like that. Please cast Elvish Visionary. This looks like Zenith. Okay, it's Zenith. Heritage. Oh, Symbiote. Uh-oh. Am I dead? I don't appear to be dead. They only have 3 mana right now. That's not enough to natural order. Oh my god. We're getting a turn. Alright. Well, time to slam Aluren. And hope they don't have Force of Vigor. Okay. Green, green. Here's Aluren. And I'm not going to lead on Recruiter. I'm going to start with Noble Hierarch. Because if they respond, then I can respond to their response. And hopefully they just have nothing. Alright, moment of truth. I've worked through all my decoys. This is the real one. And they packed it up. Wow, 4-1 with Aluren. The Goldfish was fast enough for that matchup. Just the turn 3 on the draw. Got it done. Yeah, Bant Control can't do that. Okay, 4-1 with Aluren. This deck was mega sweet, which I had no doubt that it would be, but the things that kept emerging that weren't obvious on the surface, like the turn where I Aluren'd in my main phase, Yorion flickered Recruiter, then one in my end step. That was really cool. The game where they shut off Cavern Harpy with Pithing Needle and then lost their Canonist through reckless attacks, and I was able to Wish for Acererak, just the full sidestep. Also lethal with Aluren, but avoids all the hate that would affect Cavern Harpy. This was a lot of fun. I really like this. I respect it as a deck choice. I have been bemoaning pretty regularly how slow Bant control is to win games. But if you tuck a combo in there, that's a totally different story. I think that this Aluren deck is a pretty good Bant control deck with Uro and Ending and Plow and Coatl. Like, these are all Bant control cards. And the Yorion plays a really good mid game. For what it's worth, I think that Bant Food Chain does a similar thing. It's a very good Bant control deck. And it also has the combo that you always have to respect. So I think that Food Chain occupies a similar space as Aluren right now. I'm not sure which one is better, but as for this league, Aluren was an absolute delight. This is a deck that I have a long history with. I played it in Extended back when Tempest was Extended legal back in ancient times. I still have my Alurens from when I had that deck built. And this is the type of deck I could see myself sleeving up, and not for just FNM, but for like a real tournament if I want a sidestep, but still like the Bant control elements of it, which I do. So thank you, Charles, for asking me to play this. This was a delight. Everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to play your deck or take your support a little farther, Patreon and YouTube membership both exist. Check out the community Discord through those things. We have a pretty cool community. We talk about Magic and talk about decks and just generally have a good time. Pet picks are a thing in there. It's a good time. If you're interested in any of that, check that stuff out. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.